When I was in school, I wasn't having the greatest time. Don't want to go deeply into it, but I wasn't the most popular guy. If you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Oh, God. And then I finished school, finished high school, and then I moved away to a different city to study. Now, the studies were bullshit. Most of the studies nowadays are, unfortunately. But that was the most natural next step. I got into the college for free, and yeah, it seemed like I have some sort of hope for my life. And because of it, I started living in this student home with all a bunch of other students from different courses and same college, but I was exposed to a different environment, and that changed me entirely. Because, as I said, I wasn't the most popular in school, and I carried lots of resentment from it. And so in the college, I was trying to shift that. I was thinking of, oh, it's a fresh start. No one knows me here. I can start my life over basically, and I can just enjoy more and be more social and act the way I want to act. So I was pretending to be this outgoing person and a cool guy, and I changed the style of my clothing, my hair. I started smoking a lot. I started drinking heaps. I was a party animal basically. And I'm sure lots of people can relate to this. And eventually I I finished my studies. I wasn't one of those people who didn't. Luckily, I didn't lose my mind completely. And after studies, my diploma was bullshit, just like I said. So I decided to join hospitality forces because I tried other jobs as well, but hospitality seemed the natural way because my diploma was my bachelor diploma was somewhat related to it. Um, it was a hospitality administration and tourism management, some bullshit. Doesn't really matter. So I became a hospital bitch. I found a job at the restaurant, and I was thriving in it. I was making loads of cash, not just from salary, because you don't really make much money off salary working as a waiter or in hospitality, period. I was making lots of money off tips, so I was saving a lot. And I was saving for, I don't know what. I wasn't really thinking about that, but I just knew that I will need money for whatever I will choose to do afterwards. So I was saving, and then I met this girl, and then we got together, and then we got this offer to move to UK. And UK, I was like, what the hell are we gonna do there? Because we wanted to move somewhere where it's warm, where it's nice and different. I'm not saying that Lithuania wasn't different from UK, which of course it was, but initial plan for us was to explore Australia, where I'm at now, and UK seemed like a good option to practice the language, to save more money because the pay would be, I don't know, quadruple maybe, even though I wasn't being a waiter in UK. I thought I would be initially. But once we got to UK, we decided to take the step, and we went to UK, and I got a job in the kitchen. And of course, I have no experience working in kitchens, so I was the lowest possible rank, which is a kitchen porter, which basically does everything from washing dishes to cleaning bins, cleaning floors, sweeping, just doing whatever chefs would need me to do. I would always be the last one to leave, and um, it wasn't a bad gig, but it was really, really bad for me mentally because I was really thriving in the environment back in Lithuania, working as a waiter and just doing my thing, you know? There was pretty much no control of what I was doing, and I was just enjoying myself. And now I got into this kitchen where they would just load me with heaps of shitty jobs. And I remember one of the first nights I was working there, I was really having a bad time. I thought I knew English until I went to UK, by the way. So I wouldn't understand what people want from me, what they tell me. I would just, it was suffering. And one night I was working literally until 3 a.m. to finish washing after, I think it was probably like a Saturday night, busiest night in the restaurant. The restaurant wasn't that big, but yeah, it was it was life-changing experience. And I remember that night I was just like, this is unreasonable. I'm not going to do this shit. And I just went to bed. I went to sleep. We got a spot just above the restaurant when I was working. Um, our rent was taken off our salary. It was very minimal, so that was really good. Um, Anyways, that's off topic. I was in bed, and then I hear the door knocking, and there was this head chef who basically hired us, and he was also with Lithuanian heritage. That's how we got the gig, through him, and he just gave me so much shit, and then I had to go and finish up. That's why I stayed until 3 a.m. washing things, and that was a shocker. I really started disliking the guy from that moment, and but I understood that this is what I'm here for, and I will do this, and it's okay. And my girlfriend at the time, she was working at the front of house, so she was just carrying the plates. Eventually she became a waitress and then a manager, and I stuck washing dishes pretty much for 2 years. And after 3 months, I, yeah, once again, I was thriving in that environment. I learned pretty fast. So yeah, I started enjoying myself again. I think it was very good experience for me, not just as a professional, but as a person, as a man. I learned these super valuable skills. I learned discipline. I learned respect. I learned the language, which I was developing. I'm still developing, as you can tell, the skills of English to this day. And yeah, that was another necessary stepping stone. And eventually, we decided to just go to Australia. We applied for visas, we filled out all the required documents, we paid all the fees, we got the tickets, and we landed here in Brisbane. And we booked this Airbnb for a week, hoping to find a place to rent soon after. And we did. But then I was struggling to find a job, and I had this mixed emotions. I can definitely work in kitchens, and I can try and work as a waiter as well in hospitality. And so I was applying for jobs here and there. And for some reason, I was just not getting hired. No one was interested. My girlfriend found a job second week, probably. So she got very lucky. And then I was basically getting into this depression. Couldn't find a job for the first 3 months. So I was delivering food through Uber Eats app. I was riding my shitty bicycle around town. And then eventually somebody called me. Um, I applied for this job in the suburbs as a waiter to work as. And the guy named Jasper, he called me, and then I got into this gig at Cinco Bistro. It was white tablecloth, very nice restaurant. And yeah, I was super lucky, super happy that this burden of not having a job for a long time was finally lifted off my shoulders. And yeah, I started working there. Soon after, me and my girlfriend, we broke up, and I started getting sick of that job, and I wanted to move elsewhere. I started getting depressed because the owner, I don't know if it's me or if it was the owner or maybe a combination of things. Anyways, I just did not feel appreciated. And yeah, doing same shit for a long period of time for the same pay, and you start seeing all the flaws in the place. So another 2 years, and I quit that job there. And then I was on the lookout, and I was still studying. I studied digital media, which is basically all the fundamentals of how to do everything you see on the screen. We touched a bit of coding, a bit of Photoshop, a bit of video creation, all that jazz. We did that. And that's another bullshit diploma because no one would hire me with that. Of course, I would need to study something more niche, more specified. Anyways, where am I going with this? I'm just telling you my life story. Oh, yeah, it all started from school and being not confident, and then becoming confident, and then being shitty, and then being good, and then being shitty again, and then being good again. Anyways, I found another job, this time in the city, not in the suburbs. I found a job in this prime location on Brisbane River. It's called Madame Boo, the restaurant. It's modern Asian cuisine, modern Asian fusion, whatever. There were lots of Korean chefs there. Um, the food was great. The environment was great. It was just a party place. During the weekends, I had a lot of fun in there. The team was perfect. I met my future wife there. And then COVID hit. Um, Me and my wife, we started hanging out more and more during COVID. And then eventually we moved in together. And then during COVID, the restaurant got shut down. And I was like, okay, maybe it's time for me to transition into something else, doing something else with my life, because my wife was on the path of becoming a psychologist. And so I didn't feel like I want to be a hospo worker forever, because I saw these people who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s even. And I'm not shitting on hospo. Like, if you love the job, if you don't want to try anything else, that's fine. It just wasn't fine with me. I felt like I want to do something more in life, and I don't want to spend my nights and weekends in the restaurants serving people. I felt like I needed another challenge. And so I decided to study graphic design. And graphic design is something that I was passionate about for a long time. I love making videos, I love photoshopping, I love designing things on the screen, and probably that's why I am making videos right now. So I studied graphic design. I enrolled into this course, the Shillington School of Graphic Design, and that was an intense course. I think it took us half a year, 3 months, 3 to 6 months. Um, we went there full time, Monday to Friday or Thursday. Doesn't matter. It was like 30, 40 hours a week studying and being in the class and being with other like minded minds and learning from our teachers and just developing that designer mindset. And that changed me again. That was another stepping stone in my life. And then I was like, okay, fuck yeah. Now I will find an office job. I will work in an office, and this is going to be new me. I enjoy being creative. It's going to be a great experience. And so I found a job fairly quickly. I think it took me like a month. It was hard to find the job that I would really like. And I had this criteria that if I don't like the job from the start, like the way it looks, I'm just not going to apply. It's probably stupid, but that's how I was thinking. And so eventually I was browsing LinkedIn and I see this opening for a junior designer in this fancy looking company advertising. On their website they had Snoop Dogg, Katy Perry, all these stars and sick looking ads. I'm like, shit, yeah, I want to start here. Let's go do some cool things. And so I applied, I messaged the manager, and I think that's what got me the interview, me messaging that manager who posted the job on LinkedIn. I told to her, hey, I'm really excited for the opportunity. Please let me know whether I get or not get through the next stage. And of course, she replied to me, and then we set up a meeting. I rocked in, and the office looked sick. It looked a bit empty, but I think I nailed the interview because out of 100 applicants, I was the one who got hired. So I was super happy. I was super happy about that. Sorry. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. Um, Probably just the joy of getting that very slim chance, 1%er of getting hired into the one work that you want to get. It was just huge confidence booster, and so I was confident. And then soon after I started the work, I and my confidence fucking dropped. Holy shit. I was just stressing. I think I put too much expectations on myself. And the work wasn't hard. I can't say it was hard. It was just tricky. These tasks that were given to me were just boring. Um, Nothing that requires creativity. I was just editing documents, pushing pixels from left to right. Sometimes they would give us some room to think and be creative actually, but then there was me and there were other four designers, I think, and of course my ideas would never go through just because I don't have the experience or because I just wasn't good enough. And there was this, and then people started leaving. Yeah, people started leaving. Wait. So the manager who hired me, she left, and then some other cool designers left, and then eventually I was the a person who worked there the longest. Imagine how much change company can change. And they were changing owners, and when I was hired it was under new ownership, and probably if it was a few years earlier everything would be completely the same different, but the change just dropped the culture and dropped the environment, and there was this manager who I didn't really vibe with. I just felt these, I just started building this resentment because people are passive aggressive, everyone was fake. I had to always watch my tongue, and it was just lots of time wasting, stupid meetings, and this office bullshit made me realize that I really don't like office. I really don't like working in the office. And yeah, eventually we went our separate ways. I'm not sure if that office is still open because the business was going down. And I don't know if it's the people who left, if it's the ownership change. But yeah, things were not looking good for that company. And so here again, I was unemployed, but and I didn't want to work in the office again. And I was just discouraged. I took some time off and I was thinking, okay, what do I want to do? I swapped my career again, and I was really into fitness this whole time since I've been in Australia. It was 7 years probably since I got here, and I decided to just study personal training because that's the entry level. I found this course which I could finish in 3 months and just start working in the gym afterwards. And that's what I did. I enrolled, bang, bang, bang. A couple months later, I got the certification, got my diploma, and then I was looking for jobs. And then I found a job. I applied to a few gyms. Same again, I didn't want to apply to places that I don't want to work in. So I skipped a lot of them because of my pickiness. And then eventually I went into, I think, 6 gyms that were semi interesting for me. And then eventually I chose the one that I got employed at because let's be honest, they want us personal trainers to pay their rent. They don't really care about our business. They don't really care about us succeeding. The only incentive for them to make us succeed is so we would pay rent. And I get it. It's not like they're evil companies. They're just running the businesses. It's all money. If the business doesn't make money, it's not a business. So I found a job as a PT, and yeah, now I've been there for 5 months probably. Yeah, 5 months. I have a few good clients. I had lots of shitty clients. I realized a lot of things. Lots of growth happened about the business, about personal training, about training in general. And so I'll be talking about PT in the next clip.